Papyrus would sit at the gate of the ruins. The atmosphere was like any other day in the underground. As Papyrus would look about him nervously, he would fear for his life with every passing second. His talks with Asgard were typically more inviting than most, but today it seemed like he was running a bit late. Moments passed till he heard something in the distance ahead of him, and when the figure came close, Papyrus would jump with surprise. It seemed to be a Toriel. It looked really close to his queen, but not as dark. Papyrus would shudder.
Queen Toriel, you look different. You look not like my queen. What?
As he would bow in response anyway.
Oh, do not fret, dear Papyrus. You don't have to bow.
Really? Okay. So, why are you here, Your Highness?
And look about him nervously.
Would my lord mind if I talked to you? I'm not sure he would approve. He would hurt me if I talked out of turn.
No. Please do understand that I will be alright. When I'm around, you'll be safe.
She gives him a warm smile.
You don't have to call me Your Highness, by the way. You may call me Toriel.
Sure thing, Queen. Yeah, it's Toriel.
Papyrus would quiver.
Sorry, I've rarely spoken much ever. This is new for me. My lord would only have me address him and speak only when I'm spoken to, and that's not very often.
And hug himself.
Forgive me.
Toriel looked carefully at Papyrus, then notices something around his neck.
Papyrus, if I may ask, why do you have a collar on?
Papyrus would blink as he would look down and touch his collar.
Oh, this is for Master. He would clip his leash on me when we would go places together to keep me safe, he says.
He looked scared.
It's just something he uses often.
Toriel looked at him with worry and then smiled a bit.
I think we should take that off of you. It looks rather tight.
But would my lord approve? I hardly have this off unless I shower, but it hurts. It really does hurt. When he pulls it brushes against my neck bones.
He would look around frantically. He had spoken out of turn. He looked on the verge of crying.
Papyrus, do you trust me?
He would take a step back.
But Queen, Toriel,
This one seemed a little nicer than their own. Maybe he could trust him. Soon he would lower his head and relax. Looking up at Toriel, he fell on his knees.
Yes, I trust you.
Being submissive in the response he would be to his brother when Sans would scold him. Toriel goes onto her knees and begins to loosen his collar. Once done, she took a look at his neck to see if any damage has been done. He looked pleased that the collar was off, but then immediately covered his neck.
No, you mustn't see.
He looked frantic.
Oh, please don't worry. I have some bandages with me. Here, take a look.
She then reached into her pocket, pulling out a wrap of bandages. Papyrus was very wary at this, but then he let his hand leave his neck. There was a small amount of blood.
The collar would always get caught in my neck bones.
His neck was bleeding a little. He would whimper.
It hurts. Don't hurt me more, Toriel. Master would hit me if he knew of this. But please, I'm fine.
Papyrus, I wouldn't do something as this if I knew it would hurt you.
Toriel gently holds Papyrus's hand, covering his neck.
Trust me, alright?
He would gasp as he was touched.
You are nice. Why are you being nice to me?
He was used to harsher means of touch.
Trust Toriel. Okay.
He would slow his breathing.
Help?
Just relax, dear. If it does hurt a bit, let me know, alright?
She begins to wrap his neck with the bandages softly, without harming him. Papyrus would let her wrap him. He would look from side to side to watch out for his brother.
Thank you.
Was all that he could simply say. It was the most he could say since he wasn't asked for anything. She would wait for her to finish. She gave him a warming smile.
I really do hope you'll be okay. I care for you very much.
She then finishes wrapping the bandages.
There now.
Care for me? Don't you have to leash me to keep me safe?
He had no freedom, and it clearly showed. He would look at the collar with wide eyes, expecting Toriel to place it back on. Toriel then shook her head.
No, you don't need a leash to be safe. Don't you see a collar on me?
Papyrus would literally squint to look. He was sure that how his brother would treat him was pretty much normal.
No, ma'am. But
He would gingerly touch his neck.
he seems to treat me differently. I'm sorry. I have spoken out of turn. My brother's the best, but
His face spoke of genuine fear. It's been a long time since he had a conversation altogether.
sorry.
Seeing how poorly his brother treated Papyrus, Toriel seemed upset with it and thought to herself for a moment.
I know you may not like this, but I do think we should have a word with your brother.
No, I might get in trouble. My lord would not be happy.
Clearly he aimed to please.
He might hurt me if you tell him. I'm fine, honest.
He won't lay a finger on you when I'm there. I promise you that.
Papyrus calmed down a little. He trusted this Toriel enough to not talk back.
I'm sorry for being upset. I'm scared.
He sighed, scooting forward and then stopped. It was the smallest action he could do without looking like a dog. He was obviously asking for a hug, something he hadn't had a genuine sort of.
I've never gone against my master's wishes, and if I did, I'd get hurt. I trust you.
I'll always be there to protect you.
She held her arms out to Papyrus, wishing a hug from him. Papyrus would lean towards Toriel for the embrace, sobbing greatly.
Thank you. I'm still scared, but it's okay. I'm such a worthless brother. He always says so. I want to relax, but I must stay here. Maybe later. I'm tired.
He would look sadly at Toriel.
I also don't want to take more of your time.
Hey, I think you're an amazing brother in my eyes. Don't worry on what he says. He's treating you awful.
She lays her head on his shoulder, gently, and then closed her eyes.
How you treat me, it's so much more kinder. tired, ma'am. I'm sorry. I can't.
She would look alert.
But I can't have my lord save me. But I'm sleepy.
He was conflicted.
Go home for the night. If you do need me, just call, okay?